Hi, everyone. It's Karen Whooley at KarenWhooley.com, and welcome to Team Whooleygan's live chat today. It's Wednesday, April 14th, and I can't believe we're halfway through April already. I hope you guys are having a great day. I just wanted to give you some information before we get started. First of all, if you're watching on YouTube right now live, hit the subscribe button. And if you're not watching live, if you're watching the replay, make sure you hit the subscribe button right below this video. And if you're watching the replay on Rumble, make sure you hit the subscribe button right above this video. I always upload this live right to Rumble immediately after the live is finished. So make sure you know when I am going to be going live or add a new video, either on YouTube or on Rumble. I'm losing my voice today, guys. I don't know why. We had a little bit of a dust storm yesterday, so that could be the reason. If you want to learn more about me, make sure you check out my website at KarenWhooley.com. I've got that right here at the bottom of the screen. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to my newsletter. I'll also give you a link right here at the bottom to subscribe to my newsletter. Newsletter subscribers always get 25% off new releases. They always find out about new classes and new books first. Plus, you get a free pattern upon subscription, and you also get a free pattern every year after that. So make sure you subscribe and take advantage of that. That's part of being Team Whooleygan. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm at Karen Whooley. I am starting to post a little bit again on Facebook. I'm not promoting that as much right now. I just have so many followers right now on Facebook. Even though I took a break since January, I've been getting more and more followers. So I'm just posting new information. So I don't go on there very often, but just so you guys know, you can find me at Karen Whooley Official, KWNO, all capitalized. So Facebook.com/Karen Whooley Official. I'll make a banner for that next week. I mentioned Rumble. If you're interested in following me on Rumble, that excuse me, that link right down there is my Rumble channel. Go ahead and subscribe there as well. You can subscribe in both places. Rumble only has about 10-15 less subscribers than I have here on YouTube. So I'm pretty active on both places. So just so you guys know, that's the channel. And if you're interested in joining Rumble, that is my affiliate link. That helps me out. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free to join, but I get a little kickback for sending you there. So use that subscribe link there to subscribe. So anyway, I wanted to see what you guys are up to. So I'm going to go over to the chat. See who's here. There's Linda and Brad. Yay! I'm glad you're here. And Patricia or Pat, I always call you Pat. So how's your femur doing? Are you healing okay? Doing well? Let us know. Hi, Marianne. I'm glad you guys are here, everybody. I'm glad everybody's doing well and everybody's here. Linda says, hi, hope everyone is well. And she's asking how I'm doing. I'm doing well. For those of you who weren't here last week, I had my very last immunotherapy treatment on Thursday. And I'll be honest, Thursday was really rough. Friday was really rough. But Saturday, I started to feel better. And I'm going to sneeze, guys. So I think, oh, man. Like I mentioned earlier, we had a dust storm yesterday. Not too bad, but enough to make my nose just not like it. So I've been taking my allergy meds and stuff. But anyway, so Thursday and Friday were really rough. Saturday, I started feeling better. Yesterday, I started to really feel more like myself. I still have my fuzzy brain. So if I have trouble speaking, you know why. But the doctor did tell me that I should start clearing a little bit in a couple weeks. So I'm hoping in a couple weeks that my brain will clear. So I have 6 weeks now off. Normally tomorrow would have been my treatment day, but this is my first week will be ended after treatment. So I'm hoping that I'll start getting my energy back, and I will stop this not wanting to eat thing. I force myself to eat. So anyway, I've lost quite a bit of weight over the past 6 weeks. So which is a good thing because I've been wanting to lose this weight anyway. But in 6 weeks, I've lost a little too much weight, too fast. So I'm okay. I've been taking my vitamins and forced myself to eat. So it's just, I'm not hungry ever. So I don't know why. That might not be a bad thing. So anyway, let's see. Pat, you go by Pat. Well, Beamer's healing. Good. Are you still with your daughter, Pat? Or are you at home now? Or are you just going to stay there for the remainder of the healing process? But I'm glad you're healing. That's great. And Marianne said, you started the hat. Yay, foundation made too tight. So, yeah. Awesome. I'm glad the video helped. That's why I'm just going to start making videos for different patterns. I'm working on, I have it on the blocking board right now, that cowl that I showed you last week that I had the 2 different colors. I'm going to be doing a couple videos for that one. I also have Queen of Hearts is an old pattern, but starting next week, I'm going to be making a series of videos for that. There's a link in, if you have a Queen of Hearts pattern, there's a link in there, and there's nothing there right now. I haven't had time to do those videos, but starting Monday, I'm going to start those videos. I'm going to start working on Queen of Hearts. So just so you know, but I'm glad the video is helpful. And the foundation chain it takes practice making the foundation chain a little looser. I'm actually going to show you a project here. Remind me, Marianne, when I show you my work in progress to show you how mine is a little tight, but it's a different stitch. So it wasn't so hard to get into the stitches, but I'll show you what happens when things get tight. Meds mitigating changes, yes. You know, Marianne, I've had soup. I've made actually bouillon because that's all I had in the house at the time. So, but I bought some chicken broth and stuff like that too. So I'm going to be having that as well. And I've been eating a lot of protein bars. I mean, that's pretty much what I'm forcing myself to eat. Yeah, still no weight bearing, still at doctor. Okay. Oh, cool. Okay, so you're not too far away from your follow-up. A couple weeks? Let's see, 1, 2. Yeah, about 3 weeks from your follow-up. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'm glad you're healing though. So that's terrific. I always like to hear how people are doing. I need to turn off this banner here. Okay. I'm glad to hear how you guys are doing. I thought I'd show you guys my only finished project this week. I showed you my little knitted baby hat that I was working on. This is the finished one. I decided not to do a roll brim on this one. This is the Seahawks colors, and I'm using Cascade Fixation. I don't have a link for that, but if you go to cascadeyarns.com and look at Fixation, you can see all the colors they have. This one's called Seattle, but the colors are so Seahawks that I have to call it a Seahawks Seahawks hat. So I've got one of those done finally. And then I started a new one with a different blue. I have a lot of boys' colors right now in my stash. What I like to do is I like to knit up all of my stash and get it down to where I just have little balls of yarn, you know, like this. This is the leftover from the Seahawks one. And then what I'll do is I'll start mixing and matching. So I think I have enough to make a full hat with this one. If not, I'm going to put the Seahawks on the crown, even though it's kind of funky looking. I like those funky looking hats every once in a while. So definitely do that. And I'll probably, now that my my immunotherapy is done for right now, I'm going to start thinking about classes. And I know a lot of you have been talking to me about wanting to learn how to knit. And so I'm trying to figure out the best way to teach that. So I'm thinking sometime this summer, I might be offering like a knitting for crocheters, beginning knitting for crocheters class. So be watching for that. I see a couple comments coming up here, so I want to see what you guys are saying. Okay, so Marianne says, oh, this is about the hat. She's doing my favorite hat, by the way. She sent me a picture of the color of your yarn. It's gorgeous. I can't wait to see it when it's made up. Usually too loose, so use a smaller hook. Yep, that's what you do. That's what you need to do. And Anna Louise is here. Hi, how are you? I'm glad you're here. And that's true. Colors are genderless. I mean, I put my daughter in blue all the time, and blue's one of her favorite colors. And blue's my favorite color. It just seems like the places that I donate hats to usually will separate them by gender. So, but lately I've seen these going into girls, you know, especially since there's a lot of dads who are big Seahawks fans around here. So these are going into girls. And I love this blue for girls. This is one of my favorite colors. And it's got a little bit of purple in there too. So it kind of makes up for that too. So anyway, so I am working on a new project. I think I showed you this yarn before. I haven't wound it all up yet. This is from the Fiber Seed. It's her Sprout Sock. And it's in the colorway Succulent, which was March's color of the month. I have a feeling she's going to be putting this in a regular rotation though, because it was so popular. I love this color. She and I are actually working on a project together, and I thought I'd show you guys. On my Instagram, you'll see a sneak peek as well later today. But this is my work in progress right now. This is the back side of a sweater. This is, I'm making it for, well, it would be a finished size 40 bust, but, you know, a 36, 38 regular bust size. But Marianne, this is what I was talking about with the bottom of the, it started with a single crochet foundation stitch or foundation single crochets. And you'll notice that at the bottom here, it's a little tighter. But what I like about the foundation single crochet is that when I block it, it'll stretch out to where I need it to be. It's just slightly tight, but that's the purpose of the foundation is you're making the chain and the first row, in this case of single crochet at the same time. And since my first row needed to be single crochet, it just made sense to put that at the bottom. But it stretches. That's why I use this when I'm making cuffs on socks. Even if I'm starting a sweater with the cuff first and working up, I always use the foundation single. So just so you guys can see, look at how pretty this is crocheting up. Again, this is the back of a cardigan. So I should have the back done tonight, and I'd like to have the fronts done by the end of the week so I can get this block on the blocking board. I have yarn coming for another project. I can't tell you about that project. I have yarn coming probably Monday or Tuesday, and I can't wait to get it. So I wanted to make sure that I showed you that. I can't wait to get it. And then hopefully next week I'll have those cowls at least in a place where you can see what they're going to look like. Again, they're on the blocking board. I had a company last week. I think I mentioned that. My mother-in-law was here. So I didn't get blocking done. So I needed to get those on the blocking board. They should probably be dry today. So I'm hoping for that. Anyway, there's one other thing I wanted to show you guys, and I mentioned it last week that I'm going to hide that one again, that I got it and I forgot to put it on my desk. So I thought I'd show you. Pick it up here without destroying what I have. Uh-oh, hang on. There we go. This is my new electric spinning wheel. This is the Electric Eel 6.0. That's version 6.0. It's a full-size spinning wheel, but it's electric. So if you've always seen the turtle ones, I used to have a turtle one. I had to get rid of it after I tore the ligaments in my foot because I couldn't treadle anymore. It hurt too bad. Even after my surgery, it just wasn't, I couldn't treadle fast enough to spin. So this is awesome. I haven't named her yet. I don't usually name them, but this one feels like I should name her. But I wanted to turn her on. Let me get my little mat. I have this little silicone, it's like a pot holder type thing. It's got fiber on it too, that I put underneath her so she doesn't slide. And then there had been, I don't know if any of you have been following the electric eel wheel people, but there have been some static electricity issues, and that silicone pad has worked for me to get rid of the static. I live in a high static area, so I was getting the problem where the motor would turn off, and once I started putting it on this, it stopped the static issues for me. I also wanted to let you know is that what was I going to say? I can't remember the fiber content of this, but it's wool and silk. But I don't know if it's like 80-20. It's by oh gosh. Elemental Fiber Works. It's a really cloudy rainbow. It's got lots of gray in it. I'm on the orange right now, but you can see right there, there's the gray in there, and I see some comments. Hang on one second. Oh, I'm going to put up the website for the wheel. I actually did this Kickstarter campaign last summer, so I got it for less than what you see on the website, but it was something that I really, really wanted to get, because I have his 5.2, and it's a little louder than I'd like it to be, but it's still quiet. I mean, compared to some electric wheels, it was still quiet. But I want you to hear how quiet this wheel is. First, I'm going to pop in here. Hi, Dawn. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you got to see it. And then I would learn how to spin. I'm teaching a class on spinning. I consider myself, I've been spinning for like 8 years, but I don't get to do it often enough. Now I might be able to get to do it more often with this, because I don't have to treadle, and it's quiet, so I can watch TV and do this when I feel like I need this. What I'm trying to do is every day spin for about 15 minutes. Just to get myself back into it. My goal is at some point is to buy fleece and clean it and dye it and card it and spin it and then knit a sweater out of it. That's my goal. So, but I want to turn this on. I'm going to put my foot pedal on. Let me make sure my power's on. My power's on. This is also running on a battery instead of, I can plug it into the wall as well. But it's also got a battery, and that's what I've got, so I don't have all these wires on my desk right now. I usually sit over there and have it sitting on something to spin, and then that way when the battery runs out, I can plug it in. There's a wire, or there's a plug right there by my chair. So hang on one sec, let me turn it on. Can you guys hear that at all? I don't know what you guys are hearing. I gotta back up a little, I'm too close. Again, I'm a new spinner, so the way I spin may not be the way you're used to. I tend to pull and then come back. And I spin at a higher speed, because I'm trying, my goal is to get, when I ply it, is to get a fingering weight yarn. That's my goal. Isn't it? It's amazing. The bobbins, for those of you who don't know about spinning wheels, there's where the yarn is going once I spin it, that's a bobbin, and the bobbins have bearings on them, metal bearings, and that helps with the clocking and the spinning. It also has 4 bearings. There's 2 on either end of the bobbin, and then there's 2 where I'll show you the pieces here in a second. I need to get to a spot where I can turn this off again. But isn't that amazingly quiet? I can't even believe it, how quiet it is. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this off. So here we go. It's made of molded plastic, so it's really lightweight. And I'm gonna pull this up here. I'm gonna get my fiber. Okay, so this blue is the bobbin. I'm gonna have 6 blue bobbins. It actually came with 2 blue, 2 white, 2 purple, but I'm a blue girl, everybody knows that. So I did a swap with a couple people one who wanted all the purples and one who wanted all whites. So, but by Friday I should have my other other 4 bobbins. I have 2 blue ones right now, and I'll have 4 more coming. So I'll have 6 bobbins. It comes with 6 bobbins. This is the flyer, and that is where. Oops, let's do this. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's where the yarn, when I'm spinning it, it's feeding through these hooks and onto the bobbin. This is all molded plastic, but the flyer is sitting here is a bearing, and here's a bearing. So when everything's spinning, because there's those bearings there, it just makes everything so quiet. My wheel was so loud I could never spin watching TV. I couldn't hear the TV. I mean, if I turned it up loud enough, mine would be blasting my family. So that's why another reason why I'm really excited about this wheel. It's really cool because it comes, this is the speed dial right here. This is the S and Z ply. I always spin Z and then I ply S. Oops, wrong side. This adjusts the tension. This is a Scotch tension for the wheel, for the bobbin. And that's actually what, helps with the spinning of, how fast this is going and how much take up the yarn is getting. So, but it's really cool because this is a removable base. I'm going to take that off. You can see the underneath, there's the electronics, but then in the base, there's my battery. So I can put the battery in. And it's just a $30 battery that I bought on Amazon. And in the back, I plug in, this is the gray is the pedal. And then the black here, there's a couple of things hanging off here. One goes into the wheel and into the battery. Into the battery. One goes into the wheel, which is right here next to the pedal. And then this allows me to plug in the power to the wall. So I can be spinning and charging the battery at the same time if I need to. So, but this is really cool because it's lightweight. I think it weighs like less than 6 pounds. Isn't it barely buzzing, Juanita? It's good to see you. Yeah, it barely buzzes. I mean, I'll be able to watch TV and not drive my husband crazy, I think, with this. And that was one of the reasons why I never got to spin enough. So I'm really excited. I just bought a case for it. It was on sale. So next week, I'm hoping it'll be here. They said it should be here in 3 to 4 days. So, and I'll show you that because that's really cute. But it'll allow me to travel. And I did find that there is a local spinning guild here that's, we have an organization here in the Pacific Northwest called Northwest Regional Spinners Association. And they have chapters all over the state. And actually it's Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana. And they have chapters all over. And I found out there's one here in the Tri-Cities. So I am going to look into that because I could really use, sorry guys, I could really use some tips now that I've got a good spinner and that I'm, and I'd love to spin with other people to learn, I mean, I've been spinning by myself for a while. When I first learned, there was a person over on the west side of the state that taught me to spin who used to work with me at my local yarn shop. But she got busy and then I got busy. And so we never got back together. And I did spin with some people a couple times, but I never could find a group that I fit with. So I'm hoping over here that I can find some people to even if it's just once a month, just some contact, guys. So anyway, that's what I got new here. I love that wheel. Juanita, it's called, I want to say it's called Stormy Rainbow. It's from Elemental Fiberworks is the brand. I know she closed her shop during the pandemic. I don't know if she's reopened since. She was a local dyer to me when I was on the west side. And it was just it was just so pretty because it had the muted rainbow colors, but then it has the gray in between. And when I spin yarn and I ply it, I like the barber pole, and I like to chain ply it. And chain ply it, for those of you who don't know spinning terms, chain ply means I can take one strand of fiber And when I ply it into plies, I can make 3 plies by using a chain, kind of like a chain like we get with the crochet, but I pull this big loop instead of you pulling a yarn through it. But then I pull the yarn through the middle of it and it makes it a 3-ply. So, but I love the barber pole. So, and the barber pole is when you see like red and then maybe black is going around it, or green and you see the blue, you know, that kind of thing. So that's what barber poling is. If you haven't, I don't know if I have any yarn that's barber poled. I know I have some in my hand. Oh, here's a couple of my hand spuns from the other wheel I have. This is more of a worsted, bulky, but when I get close, it's hard to see on this one. Let's do this guy because I can see the barber pulling in here. Ha, there we go. So here's another one. This more, see how you can see the lighter and the darker oranges twisting together? That's a barber pole. Here's a silk blend that I did in a worsted. This is when I was really first learning to spin. All 3 of these. So they're a little thicker than I would normally want. But I'm actually thinking about a hat for this one. This one is Smutzarella. She used to do fiber. She's not doing fiber anymore that I know of. But this is one of her colorways, so I had to try it, and it's so soft. Oh my gosh. So if you go to Smutzarella's website and want to check it out and see. But I thought I'd put the website for that wheel. So if you're interested in checking it out, if any of you have ever shopped for a spinning wheel, even a treadle one, you know they're 1,000 plus. The wheel I got was actually called a Fricky, and I'm going to put that in here. Fricky. That is my original treadle wheel, was Fricky. I think it's frickywheels.com or fricky.com. He was a local wheel maker here in Washington. He was always at our fiber shows selling wheels, and I bought it from him, and I got it for like $700, that wheel, my treadle wheel. And that was a beginner wheel. I sold it for about the same price. Well, no, probably at $400. I think I sold it when I bought my original electric eel wheel, which I didn't pull out because it's a pain in the butt to pull out. It's made of wood, and it's got the electronics in it, but it's more wood based and it's a lot louder. But this wheel, I mean, you see the price there is, this wheel is, I think, $279 now on his website. I mean, compared to $1,000 wheel, that's a deal. And it comes with it comes with 6 bobbins. It comes with all of the drive bands, extra drive bands. So Scotch tension, the base, and then you can buy extra. Oop, I should hold this over too. Oop. Oh my, hang on, guys. You can also see, and here's my other bobbin that I have right now. And then it comes with a lazy Kate, and this is what you use for plying. You can buy it's a 3-piece. The other one's stuck over there. Excuse me, I told you I was going to sneeze at some point. Oh, sorry. It's just been dusty. Anyway, so this is the lazy Kate. It comes with some bands here too that help with that. So I know this is not crochet, but I thought I'd show you guys because I'm really excited about spinning yarn. It's been something that I've always wanted to do, even when I was learning to crochet. I knew people or I'd seen people spin. I didn't know them, but I've seen them. And I really, thank you. Thank you for the God blesses. I don't know what it is. I'm going to have to get used to living out here with this stuff. So anyway, I just want to let you know about the wheel, because if you're interested in spinning, this is the full size. So this would what most people would call a production spinner. He also has, I should pull it up. He also has Dream. There you go. He also has a smaller one called the Nano, which is $110, which is an awesome entry level. Awesome entry level. I'm going to share that screen. Hang on. Hang on. There it is. I'm going to put that up there. Can you see that, guys? So that's the Nano. It's just smaller. It's about this big. People are getting like makeup travel cases to put it in. That's how small it is. Everybody that has gotten this one raves about it. So if you're interested in spinning and don't want to invest in the expensive turtle ones, this would be the one to go with. I've heard nothing but rave reviews on this. So, and you can get it in different colors. I think he's got the purple and the black, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it comes with black and white. Black comes with white bobbins, and the purple comes with purple bobbins. So if you're interested in checking out or starting to spin, I highly recommend his wheels. They're priced for entry level. So there you go. Anyway, so that's all I got today to share with you guys. So I thought I'd open it up to questions or chat about anything you guys want to chat about. I'm going to put this over and away from what I'm doing here so I don't knock it over, because I tend to knock things that are that close to me off the desk. So I'm trying to think what else is going on. I showed you my sweater. I have yarn coming in that I can't show you next week. Oh, I might be doing a sample sale with some of my older designs because, you know, after a while as a designer, you start to accumulate all these samples, and some of them are older. And so I'm going to probably do that this summer. So I just saw the box sitting there that I need to go through and put them up. So just so you guys know, if you want to get something I've actually crocheted or had one of my, well, some of them would be, actually, there's not many left that someone else crocheted, because I used to hire people to actually do the crocheting for me sometimes, because I was having really hard time with early onset arthritis in my hands. But I've since figured out how to crochet so I don't have so many symptoms, so I don't have to hire somebody anymore. So that's going to happen. Can you spin any weight on those wheels or only thing? Oh, no, you can spin any weight. I know people who spin art yarn on the little one. I mean, literally art yarn, because one of the things it has, I didn't show you guys this part. Oops. Hang on. There we go. This is the front where I feed the yarn in. This is called an orifice reducer. The orifice is where you insert the yarn. This comes off. I'm spinning really fine. I don't know if you can see how fine that is, because it's almost the same color as the wheel. I'm spinning really fine, but I know people who take the orifice reducer off, and they, it's got a decent sized hole. I don't want to take it off because I've got yarn feeding through it right now, but it's got a decent sized hole. And people are making coils, which are not coils. Juanita, you probably know the word. I can't think of it. Where they core wrap. That's the word. The core wrap. They take a thicker yarn and they wrap a yarn around it that can go through there. People who like to take like locks of mohair that are curly locks and add them. People are putting beads on their yarn. So you can do anything. I mean, there's people spinning on both the Nano and the 6.0 is fine as cobweb, which I have gotten with this one. I can't believe I got as far down as cobweb. I was playing because this is just a practice yarn I'm making. I'm not worried about thick and thin. I'm trying to see what I can do with it. But you can do everything up to, I don't know. I wouldn't say like this big around, but you can spin pretty bulky yarns. Most people are spinning in the DK to the like the smallest size bulky right now, those that are beginners. So But if you're interested in learning to spin, I recommend using YouTube if you don't have somebody locally to teach you. Also, the group for the electric wheel on Facebook, which I am a member of, has a lot of experience there as well too. Juanita doesn't use the Orifice. I like it. I like it because I don't like the banging back and forth for me. It kind of keeps it from banging back and forth. I think that's, but if I'm doing a thicker yarn, I can't use it. So it's too fine. But anyway, anybody else have anything they want to chat about? I mean, we still got, today is kind of a weird day for me. I don't know if I mentioned, I know I mentioned that my daughter's getting married, and this weekend we're having family over for an engagement party for her. And so we have construction going on in our backyard. They're putting in retaining walls and irrigation and stuff. So we're hoping that we'll at least have some grass out there so it's not dusty. But I'm also in party planning mode. So crochet along. That's a good question. I have been thinking about that. I haven't come up with a pattern I want to do yet. I have one that is a super secret pattern right now, but I'm thinking that might be my next crochet along when I'm able to announce it. So just so you guys know, I won't be able to release that till September. But I've been thinking about doing something during the summer. I just don't know what yet. It may or may not happen with the wedding planning. After this party is over, that's the next thing. I mean, I have to find out what my treatments are going to be like after my healing, and then I've got a bunch of stuff to start doing for the wedding. So, but I am going to teach some classes. I might do like a not weekly, maybe once a month Zoom call where people can come in and we can just chat, or I can answer questions, that kind of thing, or we can just sit and crochet. That's fine too. I'm thinking about that. That probably won't start till June. But there's a lot of things going on in the background that I'm thinking about. So I don't know exactly how it's all going to work. But yeah, that is the kind of thing that I'm going to be doing. So Juanita is talking about the Orifice reducer, and you don't feel it, even though people that I know tells me it's vibrating. That's good that you don't feel it. I sure do. I really feel the yarn vibrating. So it turned that off there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it vibrates for me. So, and it bothers my hand. I guess because I've got early onset arthritis, like my mom and my grandmother. I feel things that I shouldn't be feeling. So anyway, so yes, Marianne, crochet along is coming. I just don't know when exactly. Because I don't really have a pattern that I could break out into weekly meetings right now, right at the moment. So I'm trying to think. There's a couple other things I want to talk about, or I could talk about crochet along. Oh, I told you I was thinking about maybe this summer having the knitting classes. I am going to be doing some classes probably in May. I should have figured out which ones I'm going to do by the end of the week, early part of next week. If you're a subscriber to my newsletter, you're going to find out on Friday all the details about my new book that's coming out on the 27th. And then on the 27th, you will get a special email with a special deal I'm going to be running on that new book. It's actually going to be, because I've started a series called the Simply series. And I already have Simply blankets out there. And now this is Simply Baby Ape blankets. Now this one's Simply blankets. So there's going to be kind of a combined deal for those two books. So that's going to be coming. So you guys be watching for that. Let's see. Fall, winter, Marianne, yes. That's what I'm thinking is going to be fall or early. I'm thinking September, October time frame. My daughter's getting married the 4th of September, so it will be after that. That'll be kind of like what I need to do once all that's done and over with. So that's what I'm thinking. Hi, Ida. It's good to see you. Oh, make sure you go back and watch my replay, Ida. That's okay. I'll just pull up the wheel. I don't know if you saw it, if you saw that part at all, but here's my new wheel. So my electric eel wheel 6. It's just in front of me. I keep hitting it, so that's why I keep putting it back down on the floor. Because I keep hitting it with my hand and I'll knock it off the desk. So Linda says, for the arthritis, try drinking pure cherry juice. You know, I've heard that. I have to be careful with juices though, because I am insulin resistant and I can't have a bunch of sugar. So that's the hard part. If I could find one that tasted good, that is sugar-free, I'd be really excited. Avoid eating red meat. I don't eat a lot of it anymore these days. That's good to know. My husband has gout in his toe and he's been having pain in his fingers, and the doctor said that might be gout too. So we've cut out the red meat and of course the shellfish. So where do you get untreated cherry juice? Tell me where you get it so that I can find it. I mean, I haven't seen it. Everything's got sugar in it. And a lovely wheel. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm really excited. It's a great little wheel. So make sure you go back and watch where I was doing some spinning and how quiet it is. It's a great wheel. I'm really excited about it. Anybody else? Well, we still got about 20 minutes or so that I can chat with you guys. If you want to talk about, anything crochet wise. I told you I'm going to have classes coming up in May. I told you my book is going to be released at the end of the month. Let's see if I can show you. I had it here. No, I think I put it somewhere else. My new book that I've showed you, Simply Blankets, is coming. I have 7 patterns I'm going to be working on. I have a lot going on this summer, so I don't know what else to chat about, guys. So my brain is kind of like in a weird mode this week. I apologize. Trying to think. Next week, I've already decided I'm going to do a little mini lesson on seaming. No, it's Marianne just asked me before I go into that. The book is digital only. I'm not doing it in print because of how few pages it is. It's only 36 pages. It is an ebook only. If I went to print it, it would cost more to print than a little book of 36 pages is worth. So it's only digital, but you can print it out if you need to print it out. So that's how it's going to work. Let's see. It says, what do you plan to do with your handspun yarn? My first attempts, I'm probably going to knit like this one. I'm really thinking about knitting a hat out of it. It's kind of between a worsted and a bulky. This is one, and this was with my other wheel that I did these. But I think I have enough yardage here for a hat for each one of these. So I might just knit a hat with them and see, or crochet a hat. I don't know that I have enough yardage to crochet. I probably have enough to knit a hat, at least with the blue one. I think I might actually have enough here. I remember this is over 300 yards. So, I have it written down. I just don't have it back here. I have a little pad that I write down things on. This one I think is under 300, but this one I think is 300 yards. So I might have enough to crochet a hat with this. The one that I showed you earlier this is a silk blend. Also kind of in between worsted and bulky. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I have 2 hanks of this, and I think they're at 100 yards each. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with these. So I just really like how they turn out. Even though I'm not a bulky crocheter for the most part, I might just make a scarf out of this one. Actually, I have enough to make a scarf. So we'll see. We will see on that one. Juanita, Carmela, or Serene. I've been trying to think of names for my wheel. I don't normally name my wheels or any of my physical things, but this wheel feels like it needs a name, so I'll have to think about those too. I like Serena or Serene, although I have a friend named Serena, so I don't know if I should do that or not. After the hat is made, you should make a mandala and display it on the wall to show off your first attempts at spinning. Oh, those aren't my first attempts. Those are my first attempts on my old wheel, my old electric wheel. My first attempts are these coily art yarn type things that I actually have in a box in my closet somewhere. So I haven't decided what to do with those, but a mandala would be a cool thing to do. Definitely. Let's see. I would like to learn to spin worsted weight so I could use it on my pin looms. Yes. Worsted weight is actually the first weight that I learned to spin after I got used to the treadle wheel, was worsted weight. I had a lot of skeins. I had a really pretty brown one that I actually gave away to somebody who absolutely fell in love with it because it still had a little bit of thick and thin going on, and she wanted it for something I can't even remember what anymore. So I did give that to her, and I know she loved it. So yeah. Carmela is your grandmother's name. That's a good name. I've been thinking about it. I don't know what to do with it. I think it's one of those things. It's kind of like when you're naming your pet, you have to see what their personality is. And I'm thinking that's what it's going to be with this wheel. So I may not have a name for a while, but I have to think about it. So, and then a lot of people, this is a tip for you guys too. If you live near a Hobby Lobby, they have the roving, the really big skeins of roving that you can knit and crochet with. A lot of people, if you're learning to spin, a lot of people will buy that and spin that because it's an acrylic, it's inexpensive, and you can learn to handle your wheel with that. And actually, I was thinking about getting some just to practice with my wheel, just to see what it does. But yes, that would be something to do too. So just so you guys know. Brat fits brat to a T. Yeah. Yep. That's a good name. And your grandmother came from Sicily. Carmela is a big name in Sicily. That is definitely a Sicilian name. In southern Italy, too, is Carmela. I didn't even think about that until you said that. Yeah. So anyway, anybody else have anything you want to chat about, ask me about? Next week, I started to tell you I'm going to do a little thing on seaming because for that cowl, I did it's going to be seamed in the back, and I thought I'd show you how I do that. One of my favorite seams is the mattress stitch, and if you've never done that before, I'd like to show you how to do it because for me, it's one of my favorite seams because I'm going to grab my hat here. And Marianne, this might be good for you too because this is the seam I used for my favorite hat. It does use a little bit of fabric there in the middle. You can see right here, but it gives you a nice stable seam, and it also is hidden. You can't really see this seam especially with this stitch. You can kind of see when the light hits it where the bump is, but if you look at the stitches up close, you really can't tell where the seam is. So that's why I use the mattress stitch a lot. And the other thing is it gives the hat stability. Like in this case, it gives the hat stability. If I'm using a sweater, so like when I would seam the front and the back to this, seam the front and the back here on the side here, This is a stitch that's got some lace in it. It's also got some stretch in it. By doing the mattress stitch, it'll give this stability so that the sides don't get heavy and stretch out. So those are a couple things. A couple things I'm going to do next week. I'm going to show you that one. I'll show you whip stitch, and I might even do my slip stitch seams that I use for blankets when I'm doing squares or mile a minute or something. It depends on how much time I have to make swatches to show you these seams. But my favorite seam is the mattress stitch, because the other thing too is that if you have like a white, well, I'm not going to use white because white is probably not a good one to example, but let's say you have a green sweater and you're seaming the seams and you don't have enough yarn to do the seams. You could take black yarn and do the mattress stitch to seam it, and you will not see it on the front side. I could have done black on this and you wouldn't have seen it at all in there. So it's a good way to, I can actually show you how it works, but I can also show you how the color doesn't come through. White, it depends on the yarn. Black would probably show up, but I mean, you could use red, you could use blue on any of these colors and not see it on the front side. So that's something to think about. Okay, that's okay. I mean, that's why I have the replays always readily available for you guys so that you can watch them. So good, and Marianne, good. And again, I'll have the replay will be there so that you can watch it. And what I might do is if it turns out really well, when I'm doing it, and crop out that section of the live and make it a standalone video. If not, I am definitely going to be doing a standalone video for seaming. I need to do it for the cowl anyway, so I am going to definitely do a seaming video for that as well. So, well, yes, you do work side by side. Juanita had really, okay. You do work with the fabric side by side, but when you seam it up, it makes this on the inside of the fabric. You're working with right sides up side by side, doing the mattress stitch, but this is what happens on the wrong side. The seam is what happens on the wrong side. So that's why, and mattress stitch, depending on how you do it and how close to the edge you do it. I did a little bit farther in on this one because I wanted to make sure my seams matched really, really well on the outside. So even if you put the hat on sideways or with the seam in front, because some people do that, you can't see the seam. Here's the seam right here. And you can't see up close if there's a seam there. So that's what that one does. You're welcome. I am glad to do the replays. I think that's important that, I don't just go live and then it disappears, especially if I'm doing a teaching on these lives, you need to be able to see what's going on. Anyway, yep. So it just all depends on how well the video turns out, because what I'll be doing is I'll be working with 2 cameras next week. So one, looking down on my hands. So I have to see how well that part turns out. So we'll go from there. So anyway, you usually do it in the border. You do the mattress stitch with Juanita. Is that what you're talking about in the border? I'm not sure what you're saying there. Other than that, I think I've covered pretty much everything for this week. So I am sure. I don't think there's anything else. So guys, I'm telling you, I can't wait for my brain to come back. I make lists and then I can't find the lists and things like that. So I apologize. I'm a little scattered today. Yes. Okay. So you're doing the mattress stitch in the border. Okay. So when you're adding a border to something else that you crochet the border separately, is that what you're talking about? I'm thinking, because I'm trying to think, because normally I crochet borders onto or knit borders onto whatever I'm working on. So I'm kind of confused there with what you're talking about with mattress stitch on the border. I use mattress stitch for seaming garments mostly. And yes, my last treatment was last Thursday. So tomorrow's a week since my last treatment. And yes, yes, that is what the doctor told me, that the treatments have a cumulative effect. And she said in 2 to 3 weeks after my last treatment, I should start seeing my brain clear a little bit. So hopefully next week, if not next week, the following week. So, and I have so much going on too that it's kind of crazy. So yeah, hopefully I get that with seaming. Oh, to close the edge. Okay, got you. Okay. I understand. Mattress stitch. Yes, you can do that as well. Okay, that makes sense, to close the edges when you're like working in the round or on the border of an Afghanis to make that edge seam properly. I understand. Okay. Okay, so I guess it's almost time for me to go. So I'm going to go ahead and start ending this off. For those of you guys who are watching after the fact, thank you for watching. And if you want to learn more about me, make sure you check out KarenWhooley.com. You'll find everything there is to know about me. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to my newsletter. I'm also going to put a link here for newsletter subscribers. You'll get free pattern right off the bat, and then a free pattern every year. And then you get 25% off everything. So don't hesitate, or 25% off new releases, not everything. 25% off new releases. So make sure you check that out as well. You can follow me on Instagram at Karen Whooley. There's no space between my names, so make sure that you follow the right Karen Whooley, because there's a couple out there. If you're watching on Rumble, this is my Rumble channel, or if you're interested in checking out Rumble, this is my Rumble channel. I always, after the fact, onto Rumble. Eventually, I'll be able to stream them there as well. If you're interested in joining Rumble, this is my affiliate link. It's free to join Rumble, but I get a kickback from Rumble. Helps me keep my business running. So if you're interested in that, definitely try that out. And other than that, this is it for April 14th. I'm going to go back to the comments really fast here and see what everybody's doing. Don't forget to like the video too. I really would appreciate if you hit the like button when you're watching these videos, or even before or after the fact. It really helps with my visibility as well. So please definitely don't forget to hit the like button. And like Aunt Ida says, spread kindness. I'll see you guys next week. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Talk to you soon. Bye, all.